Hi everyone, it's Bob Butera with Lesson 10 for Meditation for Your Type. This week we're moving into the conceptual type of meditation, which relates to the intellect and is paradoxically the simplest type of meditation and equally the most difficult. It works at freezing the thoughts, not expanding the intellect in the normal way we would think of collecting information and learning theories and hypotheses and so forth. We're thinking of simplifying the intellect by making it a sharp razor-like tool that is open, free, unbound, enlightened, so forth. The three exercises we're doing will again relate to your personal growth, even if they're not your final meditation choice, just like the other lessons. And we're going to start this class off with a breath exercise where you count your breath, just the seconds if you can. Some people will use their heartbeat to count the rhythm of a breath. We would like everyone to know that reaching 15 seconds for an inhalation and 15 seconds for an exhalation would be considered good and average after 3 to 6 months of practicing the full three-part breath. So you'd be breathing 5 seconds on each of the three areas. Now, the counting can be problematic for some people, and if that's you, that's fine. You can just disregard the exercise, but know that to others the counting is very helpful. Secondly, we're going to do a relaxation on the concept of emptying or of emptiness, where you're letting go of things and in a sense feeling empty when you're done. And the exercise is written up in your handout. And lastly, for the meditation practice, we're going to start for this first course doing a process called self-inquiry. And the process again is illustrated in the handout. You would ask yourself the question, who am I? Over and over and over. It starts out on a more psychological level where you just literally, intellectually, in a journal if you want, write down all the roles that you play every day or in a week or a month. I'm a brother, I'm a father, I'm a friend, I'm a yoga person, I'm a worker, I'm a this, I'm a neighbor. I grew up in that town, I've lived in there, I went to that school. All the things that you associate, that your ego identifies as being quote unquote you keep asking, well, who am I? Acknowledging that whatever you think is somewhat limited and only part of the picture. There comes a point where these thoughts become exhausted. Now that process is interesting in and of itself, doing some journaling. Then you're going to get to a point where you don't have anything new to say. And that's where it becomes very interesting, because who am I? It'll touch on your spiritual beliefs about reality. And I'm not going to color those right now. We leave those up to you as they may be. But you just keep the inquiry process going, and then this question becomes very fascinating. And eventually, at a certain point, it may cause the intellect to freeze up, as I like to say, or to essentially have your intellect realize that information is not the answer and that things like silence are more profound in terms of meditation, that is. So let this lesson kind of sink in. Again, it's conceptual, it's very simple. One little exercise, for example, in this one asking, the question, who am I? But yet a whole level of depth that you can't really explain in so many words. It becomes very similar to the mystics' writing, where they use poetry to express these things. So I'm thinking you're going to look forward to that. And I've been hearing, again, good feedback. So keep on the journey, and we'll look forward to talking to you next time. I will be like conceptual meditation, short and sweet this time, and look to see you next week. Take care.